Hello and welcome back to Green Money Momentum, where we talk about market movements, making money, and money momentum. And today we're going to be talking all about Trump Media and Technology Group, ticker symbol being DJT. And DJT has had a pretty rough year this last year. This is showing the trailing 12 months, and we can see that DJT is down 44% in the last year. And so currently the stock price sits lower than it did going into both the elections and on the inauguration. And so now that Donald J. Trump is the president of the United States, and the two biggest events that we saw leading up to his presidency didn't really yield much return on investment, many investors are now starting to wonder, is DJT still a buy or a hold? And so I want to talk all about that, do my technical and fundamental analysis of this play. But before that, I want to say two things. And first, President's Day is Monday, so the stock market will be closed. And I want to say happy President's Day to Donald J. Trump and all the other presidents except for number 46, because we could really hardly consider Joe Biden to have ever been our president. And I also want to say that, as always, that this is not financial advice, and I always recommend that you do your own due diligence before making any financial decisions. So let's hop into it. With DJT, when we look again at the last year, we could see that the stock is down 44%. Which to many investors, they will look at this and say that this is a negative. But I want to throw in this positive, and that is that we are right next to the major strong support for DJT. So the lowest we have really seen since the elections is 27. And so when we draw out this long support line here, we could see that this is actually a major support for DJT, and it has tapped this spot on the chart multiple times. The only time we saw the stock price go below this $27 range is when we did see the stock take a little bit of a dip right before the elections, but then we did see that strong recovery back up. And so each and every single day leading to the elections, we were seeing a lot of hype and momentum, and this stock was rapidly growing until we unfortunately started to see a lot of halting and manipulation. And so if you were investing around this time, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It was super frustrating because DJT was gaining in value every single day, 10, 20% or more. And then all of the sudden, the halting and manipulation got really bad. We were no longer able to trade this stock multiple times a day, multiple minutes at a time. And because of that, the stock did see some retraction. It did see some natural sell-off, some natural profit taking. But then, of course, all the fear, uncertainty, and doubt caused behind all this manipulation is what really did plummet the stock down. But what is encouraging, and why I am very positive on DJT and even more bullish since all this has happened, is again, we're sitting right at this major support line right here. And on Friday, we did get some news of how DJT did finish off with the year. It wasn't the best earnings, but DJT investors still did not sell out of DJT. And so the floor here at DJT is still sitting strong despite the negative report that we got. And the negative report that we got is that the Trump Media and Technology Group is reporting $400 million in 2024. And so we saw the tail end of their earnings come out, and they had a loss of $2.36 per share. And the stock only had a revenue of $3.6 million. And so this revenue is a decline 12% year over year on the annual report. And this is pretty terrible, as the stock does have a market cap of $6.59 billion. So to only have a revenue of $3.6 million is pretty terrible for a stock that has such a high market cap. And so now this is where many bears will come out and they will say, oh, DJT is a horrible stock. This company has no actual true intrinsic value, and you should just sell out of it. They will look at this negative earnings per share and the revenue that they haven't produced and say, this is it for DJT, just stay away. But this is where I'm going to come with my hyper bullish opinion, and that is that I am super bullish on DJT. And I think that right now, again, that we are right at the floor, and now is a better buying opportunity than ever before. Because if we just look at those financial metrics, of course, it will look bad. But what I encourage investors to remember is that DJT also has just increased their cash on hand, which was already growing. So with DJT, we could see that in the quarters of 2024. This is the 3 quarters before what was just reported. They started really increasing their cash on hand. So in March, they had 270. Come the middle of the year, 344. And then in September, they were at 673. And so with the recent report that they had, they added even more to their cash on hand, and now they have 700 million cash on hand. And so that gets me bullish on DJT, but also this does too. And that is that Trump Media and Technology Group is expanding from being just like a social media app on your phone. We've already seen them add social media services, and then also streaming platform services as well. So DJT and Trump Media is really looking to be an ultimate media company, not just an app like Twitter. And on top of that, now they are expanding into the financial services. And so recently, they did just announce a partnership with Charles Schwab. They invested $250 million in Charles Schwab. And even more notably, Donald J. Trump is looking to get even more into the finance sector. And so this is a finance investment with Charles Schwab. And Donald J. Trump and TruthFi is looking to also create a lot of financial instruments, being ETFs. So we're going to have they just applied for this, the TruthFi Made in America ETF, the Made in America SMA, the Energy Independence SMA, and then also the Bitcoin Plus ETF and Bitcoin Plus SMA. So Donald Trump is looking to create some Bitcoin ETFs and other crypto ETFs and just a whole bunch of different financial instruments, which continues what he has already been doing. As we know that recently we also did have the official Trump coin released, which this is Donald J. Trump's official coin on the Solana blockchain. And so since the creation of this coin, unfortunately, it hasn't had a lot of hasn't had any positive price momentum. This has been a falling knife since its invention. But this last week, we did see a pop in this coin, as we did see this go up 43%. We have had a little bit of selling off, but the coin is still up 11% for the last week. And so what this continues here is the mass adoption into cryptocurrency with the Charles Schwab investment. And then with this official Trump coin, as of right now, there is no intrinsic value in this coin. So if you're buying this, there's not much you could do with it. But my theory is, with these ETFs coming out and the other crypto financial instruments that Donald J. Trump is doing, and just the overall mass adoption into cryptocurrency, we could see there could be true intrinsic value in official Trump in the future. Maybe it will be put into some ETFs or investment accounts, something that is unprecedented that we don't even know about yet. Maybe something, again, involving the crypto finances that Donald J. Trump is getting into. But going back to DJT, so DJT reporting such negative earnings and having a bad financial sheet, of course, like I say, strays away a lot of investors, and the bears get even louder because the bears love to point this out. But what I would encourage investors to remember is not only do they have all that cash on hand, but it's not just retail investors that are holding on to DJT, but big money as well. So when we do go over to the insiders on DJT, we know that recently there was a bunch of acquisitions of this stock. And so Donald Trump gave this as gifts to members that are helping him. So we see here Donald J. Trump Jr., we have Eric, we have Kosh Patel, and we have Linda McMahon. And so Donald J. Trump gave all these individuals gifts for helping him out, and each one of them got 25,000 shares, which with the current current stock price right around $30. This sits at around $800,000 per individual that was gifted these shares. And so I bring this up because now that these individuals, all these different people with $800,000 at its current price, but 25,000 shares each, you better bet that them working alongside Donald Trump and being so close that they are holding these stocks for the long term. And so not only do they are they going to be holding for the long term, they have to hold for the long term. So nobody's going to be selling out of this play anytime soon, as they were given those 25,000 shares, but with 75% of the shares, they are going to be distributed through time. So the grant is subject to certain conditions. So 25% of those shares could be sold right away, but the 75% rest of it will be through March 2027. And so what this tells me right here is that big money and the insiders are going to be holding on to DJT till at least 2027. And so what I'm gathering from all this information is that DJT and Trump Media and Technology Group is transitioning from being just a truth social platform to actually in being involved with crypto exchange services as well. I do believe that we are going into the mass adoption into cryptocurrency. Donald J. Trump is the most pro-crypto president of all time, and we see that with these most recent moves with TruthFi and everything that Trump Media and Technology is doing. And so we know a lot of the times that when stocks do get involved in cryptocurrency, MicroStrategy, we recently just saw GameStop talk about adding Bitcoin to their portfolio, and we saw a little bit of a rise there. But anytime stocks or plays get involved into cryptocurrency, they almost always gain value. And so I know with the recent numbers on their financial report that they don't look great. But again, DJT investors are holding strong and the floor is holding strong. So I'm not seeing a lot of selling from those who are long-term investors in DJT. Again, now we have big insider money as well, and I don't see any selling from them. As we know, they have to hold at least 75% until 2027. And so that tells me for my DJT, all I have to do is diamond hands it and hold for the long term. And before we know it, we will see a pop in this stock. But that is just, again, my personal opinion. I would love to hear what everyone else has to say about this play down in the comment section below. So please drop a comment, please leave a like, and please subscribe to the channel. And again, happy President's Day to Donald J. Trump. Thank you guys so much and have a great day.